Hey, Todd McLeod, 4 minutes on Wednesday, October the 13th. Just want to show you a really interesting thing from the account of God working with his people and leading them as he leads us today. Back in the Old Testament, in the book of Numbers, the people have been called out of Egypt, and Moses is leading them to the promised land, and they're getting kind of to the brink of the promised land, and they recognize that the land hadn't sat empty all those years they were gone. There's people living in there, and they need to recapture those towns and villages. And God had promised that he would give the land to them. So as they approach, Moses sends 12 spies into the land just to kind of scout it out and see, is it a healthy land? Are there good resources there? And what about the people who are living there? Are they formidable opponents? And then later on in Joshua, in the book of Joshua, there's an account of after they had gone in and recaptured all those towns and villages and God gave them the land. There's an account of the sort of a summary of that. So in other words, in Numbers, we have just before they go in and recapture it. And in Joshua, we have the summary at the end of it and how it went. I just want to kind of point out a couple things here, or just really one thing. So the first account in Numbers, chapter 13, these scouts came back to Moses and Aaron, and they reported to them and to the whole assembly and showed them the fruit of the land. This is in Numbers chapter 13. We went into the land that in which you sent us, and it does flow with milk and honey. That's the good news. And here is its fruit. But the people who live there are powerful, and the cities are fortified and very large. We even saw descendants of Anak there, people known to be giants, very formidable opponents. So they go on to have this discussion, and as you may or may not recall, two of the scouts, Joshua and Caleb, says, yes, it is a land flowing with milk and honey, and the descendants are large, but God is with us, and he will help us overcome. We need to walk by faith. And the other 10 said, no, we will have nothing to do with it. These opponents are too big for us. They chose to live by fear. And there's something very interesting in the account in Joshua. I just want to read it quickly. In chapter 11, verse 22 and 21. At that time, Joshua went and destroyed the Anakites from the hill country and from all the hill country of Israel. And Joshua totally destroyed them in their towns. No Anakites were left in Israelite territory. Now, it's interesting that the account that Joshua gives here of all the kings that were defeated by the Israelites, that he points out these Anakites, the very ones back in Numbers that 10 of the 12 spies said were too big. But here in Joshua, we see, yes, but God defeated them. You see, those who said the opponents were too big chose to live by fear. The enemy is large and he's too big for us. But Joshua and Caleb chose to live by faith. The enemy is large, but God is larger. God is bigger, and God is stronger. Let me ask you this today. What is your Anak, these giants in your life? And are you choosing to live by fear, that they are too big, or living by faith, that God is bigger? Have a great day.